frustrating you? Okay? Are people frustrating you? Especially the ones you've been kind to, especially the ones you've helped, especially the ones you prayed for. Are they frustrating you? I want to tell you this morning, the Lord is saying, just don't get tired of people's frustration. Because you know what? Sometimes we show love and they show us attitude. Alright? We trust them and they betray us. And this goes on and on and on and on. This frustration never ends. Now, this is not just in the workplace. Alright? Where does the frustration, most of the frustration happens? At home, or probably you brought the frustration along with you to church. Right? But today the Lord is saying, no matter how frustrated you are, or no matter how much people try to frustrate you, don't lose the peace. Because what happens in your life is, if you let frustration take over, you will lose what you've been praying for so long. Because I want to tell you, dear children of God, the biggest weapon devil uses is frustration. And he uses people in our life, especially close ones, to frustrate us. And this morning the Lord is saying, if you can just hold on, if you can be patient for a little while, you can see the work of the Lord in your life. Amen. Come on, tell your neighbor, just be patient. Just be patient. Now, if you look at the Israelites, Numbers chapter 20, they've come to a place called Kadesh, right? Exactly 40 years after Numbers 13. Numbers 13, if you remember, these guys, 12 spies went into Canaan. They came to Kadesh, number 13. 40 years back, the Lord said, go into Canaan, spy and come back. These guys came back. In fact, the Lord was frustrated with these guys' faith. 40 years, they're not going anywhere. So after 40 years, it's a repeat. Come on, say repeat. It's a repeat of what happened 40 years before. So they're at Kadesh, Numbers chapter 20. And Moses is there. And these guys come, and you know what? They again start complaining. Alright? Now, you need to understand, this time Moses has lost his sister. Miriam is dead. Alright, that's how the chapter begins. Miriam is dead, and these guys again start complaining. Moses probably thought, that 40 years, an entire generation has died now. It's a new generation. Alright? So probably Moses was under there. A new generation has come up, and these guys are going to stop complaining. Right? But it continues. Whose children are they, man? Right? The complaints continue. Moses thought it's a new set of people. Alright? It's a new season. We're going to go into a new place. But then these guys did not stop complaining. They started complaining again. Alright? They complained against Aaron. They were like, there's no water, there's nothing. How can you even do this? And this happened especially when Moses was mourning. Dear children of God, people don't irritate us and frustrate us when we are in good mood. Especially when we are going through a tough time. That's when, what do? They add fuel, hot water, petrol, whatever you want to describe. They add all of it, especially when we are down. Now this morning I want to tell you, dear children of God, don't allow people to get the best of you. If you look at these guys' complaints, these guys have a history of complaining. Starts with Exodus chapter 5. Their first complaint was, why did you guys ever come to deliver us? Because of you people, Pharaoh has actually added more labor. We are struggling. Then at the Red Sea, they were complaining, where there are no graves in Egypt. Then after the Red Sea, they come to Mara. They complain the water is bitter. And after that, they complain about there's no food in the desert. All right, God rains manna. Then they go to Rephidim, no water. This time at Rephidim, Moses speaks to the rock. All right, and then it goes on. General complaining, Numbers chapter 11, and again, Numbers chapter 11, complain for meat. These guys like, we don't have any meat here, we don't have any fish here. You know what, in Egypt we used to get the cucumbers, we used to get the melons. As so these guys were on a vegetarian, vegan diet, eating only salads. All right, we don't get any salads anymore. And then Miriam and Moses, Aaron complained. Then the spies complained. Numbers 16, Korah rebelled. And all of that, by the time they come to Numbers 20, 40 years have gone. And these guys still complain. Dear children of God, we will have people in our life whose only job is to frustrate us. Only job, 24/7, their only job is to frustrate us. My first point for today is, when people frustrate you, okay? When people frustrate you, go face down before God, not face to face with them. Right? Now these guys frustrated these guys. They were like, we don't have water. What are you guys up to? Right? Have you brought us here to be killed? There's no water at all. But then you know what Moses and Aaron does? Moses and Aaron, verse 6, turned away from the people, went to the entrance of the tabernacle, fell face down to the ground. Then they went to the tabernacle where they fell down face down on the ground. Then the glorious presence of the Lord appeared to them. You need to understand, Moses and Aaron could have argued with them. They're like, boss, are you the only ones without water? Even we don't have water. Right? They could have argued. They're like, I brought you these guys 40 years, all this while. Why are you even complaining? We are going through the same struggle. But Moses and Aaron didn't do that. Dear children of God, when people try to frustrate you, don't take it to them, take it to God. Because the Lord is probably seeing what you're going to do with all the noise happening around you. As a leader of your family, are you going to succumb to this pressure and this frustration, or are you going to fall down in God's presence? Dear children of God, people around us will do their level best to frustrate. And the best part is, they will say they're doing all of that to help us. The biggest frustration is, they're not understanding that they're frustrating us, but they're thinking that they're helping us. Take it to God. There's a difference between a thermostat and a thermometer. A thermometer shows the temperature. Okay? You put it in your mouth, you put it on your armpit, it reveals the temperature. But a thermostat controls the temperature of the environment. Alright? Doesn't matter if it's hard, if it's hot, it can make the entire atmosphere cold. If it's too cold, it can make the atmosphere hot. That's the job of a thermostat. Most of the time, we are like thermometers. We keep revealing the temperature. And in fact, we are probably default thermometers also. In fact, we will reveal more temperature as well. But then today the Lord is saying, just be patient. Alright? No matter what's happening around you, you need to have the faith in God, the trust in God to control the temperature around you. Right? If it's hot, you don't become more hot. You have to be that person, and this word clearly shows, how can you control the temperature? By going to God. Falling at God's feet. Lord, oh my God, I just can't take it, Lord. These people are getting on my nerves, they're irritating me, but Lord, whatever I want to say, I will say it to you, not to them. Right? We will not go face down, we want to go for a face off. Dear children of God, this morning I want to tell you, when people push you, pause. When people provoke you, pray. When they frustrate you, fall before God. The place you fall determines the way you rise. Let me repeat this for you. The place you fall determines the way in which you rise back. So don't fall before people because they're expecting you to fall. This morning the Lord is saying, people will frustrate you in new ways, new methods. Everywhere you go, that's your job. Take it to the Lord. You guys know what this is, right? This is a fuse plug. And often we say, fuse poidichi. The fuse is gone. But actually what happens? There's a surge of electricity, high intensity electricity flows into your house, and this fuse controls. In fact, it makes sure that it does not move into all your equipment. It makes sure that there's no fire in your house. This controls and puts it off. And we say, the fuse is gone. Dear children of God, we have to ensure no matter how high the voltage is going to be, if it's going to pass through, you'll have to make sure you put it off. Alright? This high voltage should not pass through you and harm your equipments, harm your family, damage your reputation. Just make sure the fuse is gone. Right? That's why we have this fuse. Don't allow others' electricity to pass through you and ruin your peace and joy. Quite often, guys, we have sleepless nights because of people who frustrate us. Right? There'll be people who will frustrate you by asking all the wrong questions about your life, about your children. You meet somebody, all right, first thing they'll ask is, have you put on weight? The next time, I think we should carry a weighing machine with us. Every time, have you put on weight? Come. What happened to you? Why are there dark circles? First thing is they'll poke the nose into our face. Their job is to frustrate. Take it to God. Don't give it back to them. Falling before God keeps you from falling before people. A second point is important. Okay, every point gets more important, right? Second point for today is, when people frustrate you, come on, say, when people frustrate you, please don't help them win. Please don't help them win. They want to frustrate you. They want to see you react. All right? They want to see you shout. They want to see you lose your cool and lose your promise. Don't help them win. Psalms 106 verse 32-33. Okay, the psalmist writes about what happened in Meribah. So there are two Meribahs, one in Rephidim and also one in Kadesh. At Meribah, the word of God says, they angered the Lord, causing Moses serious trouble. They made Moses angry and he spoke foolishly. Listen to this very carefully. The Bible verse does not say Moses became angry. It says they made Moses angry. In fact, they manipulated, they made Moses angry, and this man of great heavenly wisdom started speaking foolishly. Their constant complaints, disrespect, distrust. He just lost his cool. Dear children of God, the devil doesn't need to defeat you at all. He just needs you to react. Look at this guy, this man who is so wise, who spoke to the Lord face to face, who handled millions of people, lost his cool. They made him angry and he started speaking foolishly. You know, most of the time, there are people who tell me, Pastor, you know what, before I go home, I sit in the car park, Pastor. I park the car, I meditate, then I say all is well. But then when I enter the house, I say go to hell. Right? I try my level best not to, Pastor. And then by the time I enter the home, I enter my house, I lose my cool. And it's vice versa. Most of the time, dear children of God, most of the time we give our remote to others to control. Right? Whenever people press the volume button, our volume increases. They have the remote. They press the volume button and we start, our volume increases, we start shouting. Whenever they use the volume button, volume goes down. They decide when they will switch us on, when they will switch us off. You get turned on and turned off by somebody else pressing. They push the buttons. The devil has people in our life who constantly keep pushing the buttons. Dear children of God, this morning I want to tell you, please don't give them the remote control. Take it back. Your volume should not increase and decrease and based on how they operate the buttons. This remote control belongs to you. Your remote will be controlled only by the Lord. Take it back from them. Don't give it to others. Don't let others decide your volume. The moment you react, you've done the job for them. You need to understand, they didn't win because they were right. They won because you reacted. Let me repeat this for you. There's some deep meaning. They didn't win because they were right. They won because you reacted and you lost your calm. Be very careful. Because if you respond the way they expect you to respond, heaven will not be able to distinguish between you and them. Both are shouting. The angels probably will be confused, like, my God sent to rescue somebody, I don't know who I should rescue. Because both are reacting the same way. This one is shouting, that one is shouting, I don't know who's on God's side. Sometimes heaven does not know. Who's it, man? The battle is not between you and them. The battle is between your peace and your pride. Hold on. So next time if somebody is trying to frustrate you, remember this. Okay? You know what you will say? Say, nice try. Come on, say, nice try. But I'm not helping you win today. The best part is you will say it to yourself and not outside. Alright? Nice try. Nice try. But I'm not helping you win today. 23 years of marriage, and sometimes what's irritating is, right, there's an argument and I'll be arguing and I'll be probably on top of my voice. I'll be saying, my wife will not respond at all. All these 23 years, I think what she's been telling to herself is, nice try, but you're not winning today. When I was traveling back from Australia, I landed in Malaysia. I switched on my phone and there was like one WhatsApp message from one person whom I forgave, whom I went out of the way to help. Very irritating, frustrating, hurtful message. I lost my cool. So before I replied anything, I called my wife. My wife said, please don't reply anything. Because the person who sent it to you wants you to respond. In fact, wants you to react. You will say nothing. And I actually didn't say anything. Okay? Now it's been about a week now. I am at a lot peace. I am actually enjoying this because I know that person is very frustrated because he's not received any reply from me. Probably that person would be checking his read receipt. Did this guy read this text? Because he's still not. This is not him. Normally he will reply immediately. But I've not got. He will not be sleeping at all because I chose not to reply. I said to myself, nice try. But I will not let you win. This morning, dear children of God, please don't let others win when they frustrate you. And the biggest frustration does not come from far off, comes from close quarters. Now, what happens when you get frustrated? Third point. You can hear God right, but you can still handle it wrong. Do you understand what I'm saying? We don't have a problem listening from God. We don't even have a problem hearing the right words from God. Quite often when people say, I'm confused, I don't know whether I've heard from God. No. You know that you've heard from God. But the problem is, we hear it from God, we hear it right, but we handle it wrong. What happened to Moses? God tells Moses, you know what, Moses, go, take your staff, assemble the people, talk to the rock. Now Moses gets up, verse 9. So Moses did as the Lord commanded him. Now listen to this very carefully. Moses did as the Lord commanded him. He took the staff from the place where it was kept before the Lord. Then he and Aaron summoned all the people to come, gather at the rock. Then he said, listen, you rebels, he shouted, must we bring you water from this rock? Then, when it came to execution, Moses raised his hand, struck the rod twice, and water gushed out. Moses heard it right. The Lord told him, Moses, go, take the rod, gather the people, speak to the rock. But then what happened? He was so frustrated, he got it right, he listened from God. went there to execute it. 90% he got it right. The last 10%, implementation, he failed. Did you know what? Most of the time when we read the Bible, when we pray, when we listen to sermons, we get it right, we hear it right. But when we go outside, execution, we have a problem. How do we implement? We have a problem. Oh, you guys cried. You heard the sermon right on your day of wedding, right? The vows were good. You got it right. But implementation? Love does not boast. Love does not envy. Do you understand the difference between boast and envy? Boasting is, I have what you don't have. Envy is, you have what I don't have. Simple difference. We hear it all right. On Sunday you come to church. Oh, the Lord spoke to me. This message was for me. When you go out frustrated, you handle it wrong. Frustration affects your implementation. We all hear it right. But when it comes to execution, we don't handle it well. Moses raised his hand, struck the rocks twice. This is where most believers stumble. We don't stumble in hearing God, but we stumble in handling God's word under pressure. I have to show the love of Jesus. I have to show the love of Jesus. I have to be patient and all of that. Finally, when somebody's talking to them, no, I will not talk back. I will not talk back. And finally, you know what happens? You end up slapping them. Hearing alone doesn't work. Implementation. Imagine you go to the hospital for a surgery. You look at the surgeon's credential. He's like 99% in his MD and all of that. Theory, great. Practical exams, great. But you know what? During the surgery, he's like, I've got it all. Everything is fine. But under pressure, okay, the nurse is giving you a lot of pressure. Doctor, look at the monitor. No, his pulse is dropping, and everybody around him is giving pressure. And he looks out of the window. The family members are like, doctor. And because of this pressure, he's done 90% right. Finally, instead of poking the right kidney, he pokes the left kidney. What happens? I heard it right. 90% I got it right. Execution. See, the doctors are trained, no matter what pressure they see, they can see even bad reports. But on their face, they should not express how bad it is to us. Guys, today, you're probably hearing right from God. Probably God is talking to you again and again and again. But then the problem is, because you have a problem in execution, you're still saying, I'm not heard from God. What you're doing is not prospering because you're hearing from God, but you're not obeying. You still have a problem in your house. Your family, there is no peace. You're hearing from God, but you're doing it wrong. Moses didn't miss the voice of God. Moses mismanaged the emotion. Guys, this is the biggest weapon the devil uses. You can love God deeply. Listen to this very carefully. You can love God deeply and still act wrongly when you are drained. You obey the first half correctly, but you still mess up the second half. Did you know God doing the right thing in the wrong mood can still be wrong? The water came out, but it was not what God wanted. Guys, today I want to tell you, don't be focused only on blessings, money, work, and all of this. Oh, it'll come, but you got it all wrong. You're hearing God, but your implementation is wrong. Moses didn't lose his salvation, he lost his season. He was still God's servant, still anointed, still chosen, but his reaction robbed him of his reward. Be very careful. Fourth one, even more important. Frustration can make you say we instead of he. Frustration can make you say we or me instead of, you know what happened here? Aaron and Moses were supposed to go and say, the Lord did it. You know what these guys said? Verse 10. Then he and Aaron summoned the people to come and gather at the rock. He said, listen, you rebels. Moses has never used such language at all. Right? Listen, you rebels, he shouted. Must we bring you the water from this rock? It was he who was bringing the water from the rock. This guy was always humble. He did not stumble when we began. Moses is not drunk. Moses is not on drugs. Moses is not blinded with power. He's not blinded with power. But you know what? He's simply frustrated and drained. He's just drained. Moses is not this leader who's trying to show off. No, he's just drained. He's frustrated. And when we are drained and we are frustrated, we say all the wrong things, do all the wrong things. In the time, it was the fatigue and the frustration that loosened his tongue before faith could filter it. He's like, must we bring you the water? The he was replaced by we. Guys, even at homes, I'm not trying to pinpoint anybody, at times when we are frustrated, the husband says, you know what? I slog, I work, I bring in the money, I take care of the family. I do it. And the wife says, you know what? Do you know what I do? I run the house, I build the house, I cook, I also work. And you know what? Most importantly, I manage you as well. The I. And we hurt each other. When the husband says, I am the one who runs the family, the wife feels worthless. And when the wife says the same thing, the husband feels worthless. We lose the he and we talk about the we. I did it. One constant mother's dialogue for generation to generation is, I carried you for 10 months. The Lord was carrying you along with your child. See, actually, normally we are all humble people. But then frustration actually brings the pride out. We react with a lot of pride when we are frustrated. You eat because of me. I pay your bills. Right? I got you this job. Imagine somebody who brought you to church says, today, you know what? You are blessed because I brought you to the church. No. You are blessed so that you had the opportunity to bring somebody to God. What's the use of this microphone? The use of this microphone is to amplify my voice. But if there is disturbance from this mic, there is feed from the speaker, and constantly, if the microphone is going to give a sound of its own, I'm going to throw this microphone because it's not doing the job what it's called to do. Dear children of God, we have been called to be the microphone of Christ. We are here to make sure that His voice is heard, not our voices. But constantly it's all about me, me. I tell you, you do that. Can't you listen to what I'm saying? I am the boss here. No. We are here to represent God. I was talking to one couple where the wife was a Hindu, wife was a Christian, the husband was Hindu, and they got married. And the husband was telling me, you know what, Pastor, initially I liked Christ. I wanted to come to Christ. But because of this nagging woman, every day she shouts, Pastor, she calls me for prayer. See, I am a lazy guy. By the time I come and sit for prayer, if it gets delayed, she shouts at me. And how does she expect me to believe all that she says in prayer in patience? And he's saying, I loved Christ, but the reason today I'm not coming to Christ is because of her. Dear children of God, today, are we showing Christ? Are we talking about we? This is very important. Pride does not come out when we achieve something. Quite often pride comes out when we are drained and frustrated. Because we say, after all that I did, this is what I get in return. Be very careful. I've built this. I worked so hard for this. Look at what I did. Moses didn't start proud. Moses started passionate. He lost focus when people pushed him too much, and he was low on gratitude. It's not the arrogance which makes us fall. Listen to this very carefully. It's not the arrogance which makes us fall. It's the accumulated exhaustion which makes us fall. We fall, we make mistakes when we are exhausted and frustrated with people. Be very careful. The last one, the most important. Frustration can make you lose what you long prayed for. Frustration, listen to this very carefully. Frustration can make you lose what you've been praying for a very long time. You want something for a long time, but you know what? By the time you receive the answer, the way you react in frustration will make you lose it. Moses, man, 40 years already alone in the wilderness. 40 years with these guys. After 80 years, Moses in the border of Canaan, Kadesh, about to enter the promised land. And you know what God says? 12th verse. But the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, because you did not trust me enough. And the Lord says, because you did not trust me enough to demonstrate my holiness, my grace, my power to the people of Israel, you will not lead them into the land I'm giving them. It's like, what a hard act, man. One moment of frustration, he lost everything. Hey, he's done the job. He's put up with these guys for 40 years. Right? In fact, he's been praying. When God said, I will erase them, Moses said, Lord, no, you will forgive them. If you want, even you can blot out my name from the book of life, but not them, Lord. I will stand for them. Don't do this. Don't punish them. This man stood for them. Not just for them, their children, their grandchildren. 40 years of struggle. This man who split the Red Sea. This man who brought water out of the rock. Man who turned, God used him to turn Mara into sweet waters. Elam, all of that. And finally, this guy is not entering Canaan. God says, you know what? That was the time for me to show my grace to this people. But you know what? You made me an angry God in front of them. You understand? When people look at us, how do they assume Jesus would be if they only knew Jesus through us? If people are going to love Jesus only through you, how would they assume Jesus would be? Probably they will think, probably Jesus also would be having this hairstyle. No, leave the appearance. Let's talk about the personality. If somebody has to come to Christ through you, imagine, you're like, Pastor, how can I talk about the gospel to non-believers, pastors? If you don't talk, it will be better. That will be my advice. Because as Moses reacted, you talk about Jesus and then you react horribly, talk foolishly. Why would he want to come to Jesus? Pastor, I'm trying my level best to invite this person to the church. Looking at your life, would people want to come to this church? Probably somebody is asking, which church do you go? It can mean both ways. Either I will also come to this church, or I will never come to that side at all. Based on how you react. The Lord was upset that Moses let him down. He says, you did not trust me enough to demonstrate my holiness. You made me look angry when I wanted to look merciful. Your emotion edited my image. Now people have the image of an angry God. You quenched people's thirst, but you clouded my character. People got water, but now they're doubting my character. Dear children of God, this morning, I want to tell you, the beauty is still there, but the scar remains. That's what frustration does. it doesn't erase your journey, it scars your ending. Imagine, I don't know whether you guys have gone to the cricket stadiums to watch a cricket match, all right? Or the guys who stand on the edge of the boundary, man, really need to appreciate them. Because whenever they're standing, the audience, how our audience behaves. I still remember I was watching one India-Pakistan match. That's the worst match I should have ever watched, man, in Chepak. That's when Saeed Anwar hit 190 or something. He broke the record. He was hitting sixes, and this, I think Anil Kumble or Venkatesh Prasad was here. Oh my God. That's when I got to know a lot of new bad words in English and Tamil language. Everybody was scolding them, man. And one guy had brought in a full pineapple, man. Full pineapple. And he threw it against the cricket player. Thank God it missed. No, but then these guys standing at the boundary line, I think they will probably emotionally train them to stand at the boundary line because of all the comments and all that they're going to hear. They still stand at because in that moment, if this guy is going to turn back and reply, he probably might miss catching the ball. He might even miss the wicket. But then these people, they hold on to their cool, man. This morning, dear children of God, my only prayer to God is about me when I say, Lord, please, Lord, I've done enough. Give me the patience so that I will hold on when it's Kadesh. Lord, I am not this good person who will enjoy seeing my children and grandchildren in Canaan. I'm a very selfish guy. Please take me to Canaan, and after that, let them enjoy. Right? Let's be frank. If the Lord had promised something to me, I want to enjoy the blessings that God has given. His Lord has given a purpose in my life. I want to fulfill that purpose. I pray, Lord, whatever you began with my hands, finish it with my hands, Lord. I don't want to leave anything incomplete, so I pass the baton to my children and then they finish it and they get the credit. No way. Lord, this is my reward. I want it for me. Let me finish the job which you called me for, Lord. Imagine Moses would be, probably seeing there from heaven, and it's like Joshua leading, crossing the Jordan, everybody going into Canaan. Moses like, poche, Aaron, 40 years, man. One moment we lost it all. Guys, this is serious. This is serious. Don't allow others to frustrate you and steal the blessing and the promise and the answer for the prayer which you're waiting for. Let them not give you a headache, man. Nice try, but I will not let you win. Nice try, but I'm not giving up Canaan for your sake. Idiots, if you don't have water, you have a problem. Right? Guys, we don't have to go and justify to everybody. Most of the time, we lose our cool because we are trying to justify. We're trying to explain to people that I am right, I'm doing this right. You know how much I've slogged. We are trying to justify, and that's where we get more frustrated, trying to explain to people that we've done the best, that we are good, we've done the best. No, you don't need to. Because nobody's going to understand. People are people. Tell your neighbor, nobody's going to understand. So don't be bothered. I'm like, Lord, if you started something, Lord, my only prayer is completed through me, Lord. Let me not happen. Because I tell you, in all the moments, emotional moments in the Bible, this is like a very emotional moment for me when I read about Moses. Hey, he's slogged. He's done all the hard work, man. He's walked in the wilderness for 80 years with these guys, man. He's done the hard job. He's sacrificed everything of his life. He's got a bad name. These people spoiled his reputation. He even went to the extent of giving up his place in heaven. Moses said, take my place in heaven, Lord. Take my name out of the book of life. But give them another chance. What a man. And finally we come to a moment where God says, you know what? After you doing all of this, there was this one moment, Moses, you messed up, because of which you can't go to Canaan. Man, that's so heartbreaking. I really feel bad for Moses. Imagine if we were in that place. This morning, dear children of God, never let the we and me take over the he. He is doing it. He has brought us thus far. He is providing. He has given me the job. His children, His house, His body, His life. Right? Try your level best to honor God in every way, every chance you get. People will come in all forms, all places. The devil will use all methods. The latest method is the Instagram and the Facebook and all the WhatsApp status and the postings. Oh my God. People don't have to come in person to frustrate you. They can be anywhere. They can be miles apart and still trigger you. Remember the remote. The remote will either be with me or the remote has to be with him. I will not allow this guy, Antipas, to use the remote to control my volume. I will not allow my children to control my volume. I will not allow my spouse to control my volume. I will not allow my colleagues to control my volume. I will not allow them to switch on and switch off. When I come back from office, nobody should know I had a bad day, because somebody does not have the power to make a day bad for me, because my God says, this is the day I have made, you will rejoice. When my God has created a good day, who has the power to make it bad for me except you?